¡Bienvenido! Hoy te traemos
los mejores gadgets de cocina. Hemos seleccionado para ti los mejores gadgets en Amazon y AliExpress.
Si quieres comprar alguno, encontrarás el enlace en la descripción.
Suscríbete y mira el vídeo hasta el final para descubrir el increíble mundo de los gadgets.
Disfruta del vídeo y gracias por vernos.
So we're going to go over how to put the frywall into your pan. The first thing you need to do is make sure you have the right pan for your frywall. So here we have a frywall 12 and we have a 12-inch pan. Actually, it's about 11.5 inches, which is on the small side of what will work for the frywall 12. Now, when you grab your frywall 12, I want you to notice something. It may initially look a little bit too big. You see how the pan looks like it's smaller than the frywall? It won't be too big once you actually set it into place. There you go. Now, how do I just do that? First, make sure you grab the frywall at 3 o'clock and at 9 o'clock. Second, make sure your hands are spread far apart so you can control the frywall. Then, make it into a circle and ease it down. So you want your hands at 3 o'clock and at 9 o'clock, have your fingers spread out far apart, turn the frywall into a circle, and then ease it down. Now what you don't want to do is try to fit it into the pan this way and then try to get it into place. It just won't work. One other thing to notice is sometimes when your frywall is new, you may have a little wrinkle. Just push it out, it'll set against the pan, and once you've used it a couple of times, that wrinkle will go away completely. Finally, also notice you're going to have some room between the bottom of the frywall and the cooking surface. That's the way it's supposed to be. That way the bottom of the cooking surface stays free. If your frywall does sit on the bottom, that's fine too. It's high temperature silicone, it won't burn. And that's it. Enjoy your frywall.
Oh, hi. I'm David Barzilay. I'm a 2016 Star Chef's Rising Star Chef. We're here at my restaurant Lazy Bear in San Francisco next to the Roaring Fire. I'm going to cook for you today a new potato fondue with morels and fiends herbs on the Breville Polyscience Control Freak. I love doing a fondue because my whole restaurant's formatted after a dinner party, and fondue is like a mid-century dinner party staple. This one is a little bit different, so let's go cook. I'm making fried baby kale chips. I've got some baby lacinato kale here, and I'm using the Control Freak. Normally for deep frying, I would use probe control, but in this case, these are gonna bubble up like crazy as soon as I drop them. So I'm using pan control so that I can put a lid on the pan immediately when I throw the kale in. So I've got my fried baby kale program set up with a 30-second timer. So as soon as I drop these, I'm gonna hit my control knob, and it's gonna start a 30-second timer. All right, my timer went off, so I'm gonna hit that to stop the timer. And the kale chips look about done, and I'm just going to scoop them out. We got our kale chips done, so we're gonna move on to blanching some peas. We've got a rolling boil going on, and I actually made a rolling boil program just to keep it up at a rolling boil. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the peas in. It's going to take a couple minutes to fully cook, so I'm just going to kind of stir them occasionally and keep an eye on them. All right, the peas are done, so I'm going to go ahead and take them off the heat. Typical rule is that they need to sit in the ice for about as long as they were in the boiling water. All right, we have our blanched peas, so we're going to go ahead and make our fondue now. I'm making our fondue, which is essentially a cheese sauce that's stabilized using potato starch from a potato puree, as well as Gellan gum. Gellan is a hydrocolloid that needs to hydrate at a very specific temperature, so the Control Freak is perfect for hydrating that Gellan. I've got a blender here with some, what we call potatoes barragoule. So essentially we just cooked some potato in white wine, cream, garlic, and I've already done that, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend it together. I have a vortex going in the blender, so my potatoes are nice and smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle in my Gellan and then blend it on high to disperse the gum. Now I've got some cream. I'm gonna throw that into the blender and blend it with the potato puree that already has the Gellan dispersed in it. Okay, my cream pretty well mixed into my potato puree, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour that into my saucepan and use my Gellan program that I preset in order to hydrate that Gellan. I'm gonna plug in my probe in order to use probe control with the Control Freak. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the Control Freak. I'm gonna select my Gellan program and then set it to probe control. And I've got my probe in there, so it's gonna bring it up to 205 Fahrenheit, which is just above the temperature at which Gellan hydrates. So when it reaches that temperature, I can be absolutely certain that my Gellan will have hydrated. I have the program set to keep it going until it's been at 205 for 45 seconds. That way I can be absolutely certain that at a microscopic level, essentially, every bit of the mixture reached the set temperature. So I'm gonna take my cheese, I've got some nice aged cheddar here, and I'm gonna put that into the blender. Then I am gonna go ahead and disengage the probe. I'm gonna pour this mixture straight into the blender. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend together my fondue. I've got morel mushrooms, some brandy, and some cream. The morels have already been sauteed to the point where they got like slightly crispy. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my saute program, which is basically just gonna give me a really high, even heat. I'm putting the morels into the pan. Now the cool thing about the Control Freak, because it has a sensor underneath the pan, it can tell whether the pan's on there or not. So I can pick it up and toss my morels in a way that you can't with most induction burners. It'll just put the heat right back on. It's not going to beep at me. It just knows whether the pan's there or not. All right, I've got some brandy in the pan. It's come up to a boil. Flame it off a bit. I don't want to completely cook it out because I want some of that alcohol flavor left in it. So I'm going to go ahead and add my cream now. And a little bit of salt there too. Now I'm just going to reduce that cream until it starts to glaze those mushrooms really nicely. All right, I have my double fried morels pretty much done now. They've gotten a little bit of crisp on them, and you can see all those brown bits that are on them. So I'm gonna go ahead and take them out of the pan. I've transferred the morels to a clean pan. I'm gonna give them a final seasoning. They look well cooked. All of our mise is done. We're gonna go ahead and assemble the dish now. All right, I'm gonna start with some peas, and then some potatoes. Nice little tiny marble potatoes that we just cooked sous vide, but at a full boil. Just a little bit of butter and potatoes. I'm gonna add my mushrooms. Now I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of lemon zest. Just adds a little bit of brightness to the dish. And then I'm gonna completely bathe all of those components in my fondue. And next, I am gonna take my Fiend's Herb powder. It's dill, parsley, and tarragon that we've dried and then ground up. And I'm gonna completely cover it so that it just covers it all with like a matte green, mossy kind of look. I'm gonna go some pea shoots to echo the peas that are at the bottom. And next I'm going to add these kale chips that we made. Really delicate. They add a nice little crunch and a kind of different kind of fattiness to the flavor. And then I've got two final things that I'm going to add. One, I'm going to add a little bit of these chive blossoms, really pretty purple chive blossoms, a little punch of allium note. And lastly, just a little bit, one petal essentially of sweet pea blossom. It's a nice little color. So this is a new potato fondue made with the Breville Polyscience Control Freak.
Hey everyone, Matthew Barbie here with Perfect Company. Just wanted to take a quick moment to show you just how easy it is to get started and how to connect your phone or tablet to your scale. So whether you're using Perfect Drink, Perfect Bake, or Perfect Blend, the connection process is always the same. So when you open the box, you'll have your scale. First thing you want to do is put batteries in. So flip your scale over, remove the battery cover, and insert 3 AA batteries into the scale. Then just replace the battery cover, and you're all set to go. The next thing you'll want to do is download the app. So just go to the App Store. Then in the search bar, type in Perfect Drink. You'll see the Perfect Drink interactive recipe app comes up. Select that. And then when you find Perfect Drink, just download the app into your device. And then the icon will appear on your tablet or smartphone. Now it's time to get started. So first thing you want to do is connect your app to your scale. So launch the app, and it'll ask you a few questions. So yes, I have a scale. Yes, I have a wireless Bluetooth scale. So the first thing you want to do is make sure the Bluetooth is turned on. To do that, all you have to do is go back to your home screen, go to your settings app, select the Bluetooth option, and then turn on the Bluetooth. You'll know the Bluetooth is on by the little icon in the upper right hand corner. Now you can go back to your home screen and back to the Perfect Drink app. Now you'll be asked to turn the scale on. And once the scale is on, it should connect right away. So allow Perfect Drink to have access to your microphone, then hit next and you're ready to go. So you want to enter in your age to make sure that you're of legal drinking age. Very important here. So your first time through the app will be a quick little onboarding tutorial of where a few things are, like your scale connection status, not connected versus connected. Hit next, and this will show you where to change your recipe categories, and then also where to get more recipes. Then just hit don't show again. So you see that our scale is connected right now, but I can hit this button and that will disconnect the scale. And then I can also reconnect the scale here. Little check mark, see that we're good, we're all set. So here you are at the recipe library screen, plenty of recipes at your disposal right out of the box. So I think that we'll make it dark and stormy today. So I search for dark, and here it is, right there. So I'll hit build. Now the last very important process is to calibrate the scale. So make sure you've removed everything from the scale, nothing at all on it, and hit OK. This tells the scale what true zero is. Now you're ready to go. So I just start by following the prep steps, put my glass with ice on the scale, and all I do is pour. A little dark rum. It auto advances to the next ingredient, a little lime juice. And last but not least, the tasty ginger beer. And now Perfect Drink will prompt me to stir my beverage. You can also use the buttons on the scale to navigate through the app. And then it tells me what to garnish, a little lime wedge, up, and here we are finished. Time to enjoy my dark and stormy. Fantastic. Now you're all set to start enjoying Perfect Drink, Perfect Bake, and Perfect Blend. If you have any questions, make sure to visit us at makeitperfectly.com and have a perfect day.
Hi, I'm Daniel Green, and I'm always looking for ways to make healthier food tastier. One of the best things to put on a menu is homemade soup made from fresh and all-natural ingredients, made without any artificial flavorings or preservatives. But soup is complicated and takes a long time to make, right? Wrong. Not with the Gourmet Super Soup Chef fully automated soup maker. In fact, the simple one-button control center makes it simple to create hearty soups, healthy grains, porridge, fruit and vegetable juices, even soy and nut milks, all with the push of one button. Sound too good to be true? I'm here in the gourmet kitchen to prove to you that it's not. Let's take a page from this beautiful recipe book that comes with the soup maker. Roasted butternut squash soup. I've got a small butternut squash that I've roasted in the oven for about 45 minutes just to soften it, and then giving it that roasted flavour. We'll just remove the seeds and place it in the soup maker. Add some diced onion, fresh thyme, salt, pepper and chicken stock. You can make it vegetarian if you want just by using vegetable stock. Cover the soup maker, and here's the tricky part. Press the soup button. In about 25 minutes you'll hear the sound that tells you soup's on. Give it a stir and ladle into bowls. Top with pepitas and drizzle with a tablespoon of heavy cream in each bowl. The soup is rich and perfectly blended thanks to the Super Soup's unique mixing blades that do all the work for you. I mentioned that the soup maker does more than make soup. The single button makes it all happen. Press once for soup, then again for rice, then fruit and vegetable juice, and then soy and nut milk. Now it says soup maker on the carton, but that's only because soup, rice, fruit juice, vegetable juice, porridge, nut and soy milk compo, and smoothie maker just wouldn't fit on the box.
you.